Have you ever wondered how to play melodies on the ukulele? Maybe you're someone like me who doesn't really like to sing, or you're just looking to do more than just play the chords and strum. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the beautiful melody of Silent Night and adapting it for the ukulele, just using our thumb with our playing hand and learning how to read a little bit of tab along the way. After we've done that, we're then going to take a look at creating what's called a chord melody arrangement, which is where we combine the chords and melody together to create a rich solo instrumental sound that's just a blast to play and sounds so full when you're doing it on a single ukulele. This works with both high G and low G ukulele. And let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to bring the camera down and I'm going to have some tab on screen. So this tab, if you've never read tab before, it can be helpful to take a look at this link right over here. But the gist of it is that we've got 4 lines and 4 strings. We're going to start here by fretting the 3rd fret of our 2nd string, which is the one that's second from the bottom here, which is our E string. Now to do this, go ahead and just take your ring finger on your fretting hand and place it here on the 3rd fret of this string right here. Now, with your playing hand, what I want you to do is I want you to take your thumb and about a 45-degree angle over the sound hole. I want you to pluck that string and I want you to actually rest it into the next string there on that 1st string. See how I'm doing that right there? That's the first note of Silent Night. That's the sigh of Silent Night. After I've plucked that, I'm then going to pluck my open 1st string right here. And I'm not going to do anything different with my fretting hand. Just leave it all as it is and play that open A string. Then I'm going to play the 3rd fret again here on the ring finger. And then going into this next measure, I just take that ring finger off and play open on that E string. And then we're going to do that whole thing again. And you can see that I'm going to play the 3 on the E, open on the A, 3 on the E, and the open on the E again. And when you do these two together in time, it's going to sound something like this. Isn't that neat? It's a great way to start playing some melody in a very simple way, using this technique with our thumb picking as well as just fretting a single string. But let's go ahead and move on to the next 4 measures of the tune, which will look something like this. We're going to start here by playing the 5 on the A string, our 1st string. We do this by taking our pinky finger and we play it right here on that 5th fret. I'm going to pluck that with my thumb on my playing hand. Then I'm going to pluck it again. And then I'm going to play the 2nd fret. And to play the 2nd fret, I usually like to stretch my middle finger down to the 2nd fret here on that 1st string, that A string. I'm going to play that and just let it ring. All is calm. Going into the next 2 measures, I'm going to play the 3rd fret on the A string with this ring finger here. I'm going to play it a 2nd time. Then I need to play the 3 on the E string again. I do that by just crossing my middle finger over here to the 3rd fret of the E and play that while then taking off that ring finger. A quick tip, whenever you're playing melodies, try to fret the note that you're playing next before you take off the note that you're currently fretting. This helps create what's called a legato sound, which means you get to play more smoothly. Just a trick as you're playing through to get a really smooth sound. But these 2 measures now look and sound something like this. And when you combine all of them together, here's the first 8 measures of Silent Night. It's pretty neat, right? Now, you'll notice this still sounds a little bit thin just playing the melody because now we don't have any of those lovely chords that we love to play on the ukulele so much. So what we do now is we layer in what's called a chord melody arrangement. And we do this by taking the chords, which you can see are written up above, and we add those to the melody notes that we're playing. And the first 4 bars ends up looking something like this. Now you can see instead of just playing the 3 on the E, it also has 0 on the G, which is our 4th string there, and 0 on the C, which is our 3rd string there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to still fret that same 3rd fret here on the 2nd string. And I'm going to pluck my G, C, and E through with the thumb, all together kind of strumming through, but stopping on that 3rd fret of the E string right after it, stopping on the A string. And that creates that same melody note now with the chord behind it, creating a really rich, full sound. After I've done this, I can then play the open on the A, the 3 on the E again, and then going into the next measure here, you'll see I just play all open with the G, C, and E strings stopping before the A string to get that melody note right there to ring out. And I do this whole process again, and you hear it starts to sound so full because now I'm layering in the melody and the chords together. And when I play these 4 measures, it sounds something like this. Now, as we go on to the next 4 measures, we're going to be playing some interesting chord shapes. And the reason we're doing this is because we have to make sure the melody note is always the last note played when we're playing in a chord melody style to create an illusion of that melody being the most important part. And so when I do this, I'm not playing my G7 in a normal way. I'm moving up because my melody note is all the way up here on this 5th fret of the A string. So I'm going to have my ring finger there on the 5th fret of the A. And this is a little challenging, but I'm going to take my index and place it here on the 3rd fret of the E. And finally, my middle finger is going to cross over and play the 5th fret of the C string. So I have 0, 5, 3, 5, making sure I get a nice arch with these first knuckles so that none of the notes are muted by the fingers touching the strings. And then I'm going to strum through all 4 strings. Beautiful G7 up high. And then I'm going to play the 5 on the A string again. And then I'm going to move down to a G7 in a more traditional sense. Here's what's cool. Look at these fingers. I'm going to slide them all down. I'm going to slide the index, middle, and ring all down 2 frets. And then I'm going to slide the middle and ring down 1 more. So that ends up with the middle finger here on the 2nd fret, index on the 1st fret, and ring finger on the 2nd fret. And I strum through all the strings. And then as I go to the next part, I go to my C chord by taking my middle finger off and my index off and sliding my ring finger up to the 3rd fret of the A string. And I play that 3 again. And then I'm going to play the 3rd fret on the E string. Remember what we did earlier, cross the middle finger over the 3rd fret of the E string there, strum through our G, C, and E, stopping on the A string. And that whole little bar, that 4-bar phrase sounds something like this. And the 8 bars all together look and sound something like this. Isn't that magical? That's combining the melody and the chords to create that rich solo instrumental sound. Bringing the camera back up. I've got a whole little ebook of these, and you can download the tab for Silent Night totally for free, linked right here. And if you'd like to check out the other ones, I have them available on my Patreon page, both for purchase and for members. That includes 6 different tunes as it goes through. It was a lot of fun to put these together because it's an opportunity to map out the melody and then create a chord melody arrangement as it goes through. For beginner players, this is a fantastic thing to start working on to get your feet wet with playing melody and chord melody style. And for more advanced players, well, it's just kind of fun to sit and play Christmas music sometimes, and these arrangements are very intuitive to play, and they just kind of roll off the fingers. So if you're somebody who's already been playing for a while, this can be a good way to get into that holiday spirit. Again, these are all available on my Patreon page, which you can find linked right over here, and the Silent Night in its entirety is available for free to all free members. So, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I'll look forward to seeing you next time on the next tutorial here. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. I'll talk to you soon.